Hi friends, today we are going to discuss on file API, how to access a file. So the basic agenda for today's discussion is separated into two parts, major parts. First major part is how to access a file, and uh, one use case to access to implement that access methods and API to that file. So again, it breaks into two parts. One is file accessing using trivial API. So when I say that trivial style or trivial API, that goes prior to Java JDK 1.8 or 1.7, I should say. Uh, so basically, JDK 1.7 and 1.8 gave a lot of features. In 1.7, they have implemented so many API in the files which we will see in discussion, and as well as JDK 8 is a kind of revolutionary JDK which has changed all the style of programming. And also basically we know this JDK 8 is majorly for the lambda expressions and streams. So you may have heard a lot about lambdas, expressions and stream. And after using the stream API, I am also just I have just become a fan of Stream API. So let's start the discussion of the first part, which is that accessing the file in the trivial style. So here I have created this application for the file, and I will create one class. So let's say read trivial file, and let's start the development. So I declare one main method into this, and inside that main method, what is the trivial style of declaring a file? So okay, one thing is I will need the file to it. So right now I don't have files into that. So what I will do, I will copy one file and save it here. So here is my file. So let's see how this file looks like. So let's edit with Notepad++. So we can see that there are 5 rows of inside this file, and we want to discuss these are just comma separated files. So I have copied this, and now let's start accessing this. So first of all, we need to create one file object in order to access. So file target equals new file, and I need to give the path name as or directly the string path or parent or child, whatever way you want. So I would prefer giving this the root directory and the file name. So root directory is our /file, so that /flash is our current directory, and this child will become this file which is a demo file. So demo file.csv. Now file object created. Next it was we have so many readers available: file reader, buffered reader. So I would prefer using buffered reader because it has so many rich number of methods inside that. So obviously we are not going to use those here. We'll see in this use case. So we'll see how that is beneficial to us. And now I will reader equals new buffered reader, new file reader, and file I will provide target, and this done. Now we need to enclose this in try catch. So either you can use throws or try catch, whatever you wish. So let's use. Now after this we need to read the file. Now reader object is created. This reader object has been created, and this is associated with this stream, and the uh, inside the target file it has been associated. Now we have to start reading it. So the best thing for reading is line. So reader dot read line. So there are so many read options, read int, read char, or whatever things are there, but line would read the entire line. And again I need to throw this reading is throwing the IO exception. So now it will throw IO exception. So I have to either throws clause, or since this is the checked exception inside this method, so this is done. Now we can do this in two ways, either while or do while. So I have prepared for while, and line is not equals null. So this is why. This is because when we are reading this file, so this demo CSV file, so it will start reading here, and here when it comes it will return null. There is no object, there is no line written over here, nothing is there. So in that case it will return null. So end of file it is there. So we are defining the end of file, and after that let's see what exactly it is, and sys out. And after this again it will, if I don't read the next line, so it will start reading the same line and printing the same line. You want to see that? So let's see that what exactly happens. So file not found exception. Oops. Yes, see, this continues, this becomes infinite while loop. It is never going to find the null. So let's stop this. Now return here line equals same reader dot read line. That's it. So now let's run this. It is going to 1 2 3 4 5 lines are there. Let's verify this. Same are there. So yes, this is how we accessed this in trivial style. So nothing much difference we found. So what exactly we can do with other things? So let's start reading this with the new style, which let's call this read file with stream, and let's create this, and that's it. Again we need to provide this main method for that, and inside that main method again I will have to provide the target. So file target equals new file. So let's declare that directory thing and file name. We can declare that here also, because let's change the style from the previous one in order to have some difference. So private static, because otherwise we'll have to create the object static and final, and string, let's call it dir equals, what is our dir dot slash files. This is the files, and we can, similar way we can write name of the file also. So let's call it file, and the file name would be, demo file dot csv, and file, and directory and file, and that's it. Object created. Similarly, after creating the object, I would have to read the file. So how to read the file? We have a class called files, which was introduced as in the starting, as I was talking about JDK 1.7 and 1.8. So basic file related new APIs are provided into this 1.7. This files was introduced. So let's call this files only. Static methods there, files dot. Now you can see that there are so many methods to create a file, to link, attach a file, or detach a file, delete a file. Now to find new types of files. So this, you can see that path and by predicate, etc. This JDK 8 related stuff. So we can have this last modification time also, the owner also. But right now I want to get the stream. So there are two methods into that. One is you can yeah. So this is the lines thing, and we can provide this overlay or list this. This will list all the files, and there is a read thing. So read all lines. So this will do what if I want to read all the lines, or just read it. So it will read. So this read all the lines will do our thing. Right now this path, okay, path will be again for path also we have path is either way we can do that. Let me show that way only. So there is one path object need to be created. So path equals target dot URI, or to URI or to path, we can either way we can use. So in this to URI, that again we can do that, or this way also we can do that, and again this will be throwing some exceptions. So either way we can do that. So let's surround with try catch, and yeah, it is done. Let's declare a list of strings. Let's call it list only, and this is gonna return me the list. So this is okay. done. So this is gonna called as list only. Here it will return me. I do not need to read line by line. See here what the difference we are getting. So here we had to create one buffered reader object or any reader object, and then we need to write one logic to iterate over the file, each lines or each character, and then read each character and do some parsing or whatever. So here we have to just call this read all the lines. uh, so this is how it is, and let's verify this. So say here for this, let's either way we can use either iterate the list over entire thing, or we can just use the 8 feature, which is stream. And in the list stream, what I can do is for each, and consumer is what I need to print it. That's what verification I want to do. So let's see the beauty of this stream. And system.out, and this is the lambda expression, the reference I'm giving. Print ln. That's it. Let's run this. Same thing. Let's verify. Done. Okay. So this here we can say that see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of code reduced into one line. So this is how we are going to get so many things we can do this. So as this I was talking about when I started this files class methods defined. So let's do something more, not only this. So what I'll do one thing. I will copy little more files. These are the demo log files. So let's copy this and let's paste it over here. Okay, so now there are 2 files I have. Okay, in one shot only I have copied. So right now we'll see this one only. So some error info, these methods are there. So let's see what benefit I'm going to get with this stream API. So this thing was done, and let's this reading done, and I can parse this reading will be same thing. So filter desired output in file stream. So let's do one more time, and this time what we'll do, I will filter all these things in the stream only. So let's see the beauty of this lazy evaluation thing, and I'll show you what. So what exactly there are different types of logs: info log, error log, debug log. So these type of different types of logs are there. So what I will do one thing. Again, files dot lines I'll do. Again, path is same thing. Now this is gonna return me the stream thing. Stream. So the stream of, because inside that file there are strings, so this is gonna return me the string. uh, Done. So this string I will assign, and now let's do some manipulation. Now I call this stream dot filter. Now I have to filter this. I want not all these logs. Say this is so many logs. This is just 10-12 lines of logs. The actual logs are of hundreds of lines and like that. So I have to analyze those logs. Some issue came. So let's take it the element which is going to get e dot contains. Now I should get only those logs which are having the info, the character sequence as info. So get those lines only, not all the lines. I just want the info lines. So after that, say info has come, what will I do? So we'll do the same thing for each and print. So I will do here, and what I do is for each. So print, that's it. Let's save this. Let's run this. Oops. Actually, we have to change this. So now this is done. So what I will do, this file I will change as, what is the name of the file? This is demo.log. Demo.log, and let's call this log. So now either I have to change this, or we can create one more file object, and the file will be log equals new file. Again, directory is the same, but child is log file. Done. So this path is also from the target only, so I need to change the path as well. So let's see the another way of using the path. So I will show you here. Here we are doing some modification. So we have again this directly we can get log dot path. We can directly use that. One more example is there, so I'll show you how you can use that also. There are a couple of different ways to access. So let's see this. Okay, this is also coming. So for now, let's here, let's comment this. And then run. So here we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 info lines, and let's verify. One info, second info, third info. Let's add some more info. Say info dot dot dot. So let's save this and run one more time. See. So this is how it is reading all the infos, and let's add say debug also. Let's run one more time. Only infos are coming. So this is how we can filter this. Otherwise, what we have, if we would have gone through this trivial style of file reading and the methods. So we would have to get this sort of list and then iterate over the list and then do the manipulations. So here we can simply use that filter method, and we can filter over here only as per our requirement. Now let's see what else we can do. So all these things we can get into let's try to read multiple files. So this is log, and in this log let's try to read all the files. So there are three files. One is demo file.csv, one is demo.log, and one is demo2.log. So there are total three files. So what will I do to get the list of that? What are the list of that? So okay. So let's do one thing. Let's remove all this stuff. Or let it be. Let's see what we can do. So here, what the thing is, this whatever the directory is there. So I need to get the directory. So let's create one file. So file is directory equals new file of directory. I want to provide this directory and create the file object. Now inside this directory, whatever files are there, get me those files in the list. So there could be multiple files. So what I will do, again I will use the streams. There could be multiple log files. So again I want to filter based on the file name pattern or something. There could be multiple types of logs in the same folder, or different subfolders, hierarchy, etc. So we can do all these things as per the project requirements. So let's do one thing. Let's store all these lists. So anyhow this dir this directory method will going to return me the list of file names present in that particular directory. So let's reuse that list object which we created above. So dot as list, and what I am going to list as dir dot list. This is going to return me this string array, and this I want to convert into the as a list. Now here only this we can do that, but the streams. So let's call it here list dot stream. And now what should be done? So should be done as stream I got. Then I want to filter on basis on what? So again on the basis of my requirement is quite simple. So element, whichever element is there, e dot contains, again this character sequence or regular expression we need to provide. So dot log, or any specific name we can provide, and then I will see what it is going to return. So for that dot collect I will use, and again this 8 feature collector. Inside that collectors dot to list I want to get it. So this is done. It is going to return me the list. So I store the same list here, and this is done. Okay, now I have to print that again to see what exactly it is in the list. So I'll do one thing. I'll just list dot stream dot for each dot system dot out and print ln. So we will see what all file names it is going to provide me. So let's run this. Okay, let's remove that printing stuff I don't want right now. So I will comment this part. So far good. Now let's run this. So this is demo and demo log2. Okay, let's do one more thing. Let's comment this. I'm not filtering anything. So what exactly it is going to return me? This demo1, demo2 and demo file CSV. Let's verify this. We can see here these three files and these three files are there. So it is verified. So done. Now what exactly we can do now? Again, this our agenda, what we did here, it is info or debug or error, whatever we want to present, so that we can do it here again in this all the file list we are getting. So all these things I need to do that. So let's comment it. I don't want to do that. So what I will do, whatever the list I have got, so I will do the same thing. I will not store anything. I will directly. So this is how we got this collect. So let's not collect now and do what? So for each file I have got these things. Now I will do one thing is so after filtering for each, I will do, so whatever the element it is going to get, so which will be a string. So string is what I want to get. So I will need one more object. So let's create a list which will be of type of list. So say list file, and let's call it files equals new linked list. Done. So what exactly I want to do? I want to create this, whatever the stream I got, that file list. So each file need to be associated, and then only I'll create. So what I'll do, then I will do this files dot add, and now I want to add a new file. So new file, the file is obviously directory is same for that, it depends upon our thing. And now B, whatever the element I am going to get, that element name will be provided to this, and the files are created, added to the list. Done. Similarly, we can see here also same thing, just instead of this we can put as files, and for each file I'm going to what exactly I'm going to get. See, so these are the file objects created which we have done it. So far good. Now I after this again I need to iterate. So what I will do, I will so files dot stream I got done. Now what? Now inside the stream I have to get each element. So for each the action is what? So what the action is? Action is E. So for each element whatever I am getting, so I need to get the file dot sorry E dot because the file object we are going to get, so E dot no sorry files inside that files class we have, so files dot lines. Again we are going to get the stream, and path I will say that whatever E is there, so E dot get name, this is the files, okay, so path we need to provide E dot paths dot get E dot. So this method I was talking about, we can do this way also. Now it is going to throw this exception, IO exception in reading. So let's do the catch thing, and now it has given me this sort of method. So now we are so far good. So we have got this, and now here let's come here, file dot lines. Now URI I have got in this is the stream actually, this is what we have got. So this is the stream, we have not assigned anything to this stream. So let's do some manipulations also. So one thing is I will show you one more thing which is called dot parallel, and we'll come to this parallel later. Then again I need to filter this, so oops, dot filter, and again what my predicate should be, whatever the element which is going to come, this element, if I use E, because we have already used E, so it will give a namespace problem. So either of the name we can use. So let's say that A, and A dot contain sorry A, and which is A dot contains, and what the character sequence I was using, info. So for this info, if it is containing, then for each now action is very simple, system dot out system.out and println, that is done. So this is a simple thing we have. So what we used here to add the file name to the list, all these things we can declare some other methods also, and there we can do that, and here also something like this also we can do that. So let's run this code and we can see there's two files. So let me open that second file also, so that so far we didn't use open the second file. So we can see that again there are 1 and 2 info lines here, and inside here we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 info lines here. 5 plus 2, 7 info lines are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 info lines are there. We can cross verify here also. Say error and error as something and info and something and debug and something and again info something we have added. Now we have added 2 more info lines. So if we will run this, see our info things came. Similarly we can change this. So this is how we can do this. So we saw how easily we can do some file manipulations, read the file using Stream API. So yeah, so collector we have commented. So this line we have commented. So this is how we can do this. So how easily we can, how with the ease of these things, if we can do that. If we are going to get I mean use this old API for the same, so then we will face a lot of issues, a lot of manipulations we need to do that to in order to perform that. So so far we are good, and let's do one thing. So let's, now our agenda is done so far. What we need to do is, now what we need to do now is we need to check this this one done, trivial access and using Stream API. Now these two use case we need to execute and see how things are there. So far you might not have experienced that difference maybe. So let's see the actual difference, what exactly it makes through the use case. So what the use case is, I have a log file. So this log file is the server is running and continuously the log file is being generated and the log files are stored. So I will take the simple case as I have shown here only, that using the Stream API we can access more than one files at a time. So we can do that as well. And one thing I forgot, this parallel thing. So what exactly this parallel method does is it will allocate parallel resources, the threads, to read the file. So that also we need not care about how exactly we are going to read. Otherwise right now which I will show you how this we will create the multiple threads in order to read that, and parallelly we will read that file. So we'll see this using this parallel method. We can directly call the tell the JVM that okay boss, do this thing concurrently, so this will maximize our CPU usage, and whatever the CPUs available in the machine, that will be maximum utilized. So we have a lot of advanced hardware, so which have multiple cores running multiple processes at a time. So all these features, this Java 8 features, try to maximize the users and enhance the performance. So let's directly jump into this code. So this use case. So for that use case, first of all, I need to have, okay, let's call this app only, and let's see what exactly it is. Okay, good. Let's simplify this. So what exactly okay, so this is done. I don't need this system.out. Okay, so now what I will do, I will in order to execute this use case, let's see how the design would be, or implementation design would be. So our implementation would be something like one is read file, two will be fetch into list queue, whatever set. Okay, set would be quite difficult because that will not allow duplicacy. So let's do queue or whatever. So there are two jobs. One is to read the file and fetch into the queue. So I will just return some queue is there, and from that queue some other method is going to read, pull it out, and then better we use queue, not list, because from queue we can pull out the elements, so it will be emptied each time. It will not grow in size much. So if some other code is there which is going to run that queue, so maybe optional, you can see that read from queue. So read from queue, that's it. So it is continuously running job. So you are reading the file, fetching into the queue, and from that queue someone is reading. That's it. So this part we will omit. We can directly use that reading file. Reading from a queue is not an issue. So reading file is not an issue. So what I will do, I'll just read the file and fetch into the queue. So let's do that. So for that, let's create one queue, private queue, and this queue will be of type string. So string, and what we'll call resource. So done, we have initialized one resource, and what we will do, one file will be there. So definitely one file is there. So file static file, and target is null. So I need not declare that. So these two are null, initialized. Now I need to create the object, so let's create here only. It's also static, otherwise access issues will be there. So equals new, let's use that linked blocking queue. This is thread safe, and the file target equals new file, directory is dot slash files, and child is demo demo.log. Okay, demo.log. It is done. File objects created, queue created, resource created. Now what I will do, I will have to create one thread. So I will have to create one thread. So for that, this thing, the multiple threads can run. So in concurrent environment, I want to create this. Sorry. So what exactly it is? It is reader job, and since this is a thread, so let's implement enable, and this is done. Here our run method is fine. So what exactly? Yeah. So this run method must be getting the file object as well. So file, file target, and let queue should be of type string. Let's say container. So these are done. Now these things need to be initialized. So the core logic for this reading the file and fetching into the queue, I don't want to push it here. So what I will do, I will create another class which will be my the actual implementation class. So this class I will say as file reader task or something. So here it will be the core logic inside here. So let's I will need to create the object of that also. So file reader task, and let's say this task. It is done. Task is done. Now what exactly? I need to initialize all these objects. So these objects will be initialized only with this inside the constructor. So here my constructor is there, and I can do okay, let's do here only. This will be taking as file target and queue of type string, container. Here what I have to do is just target equals target, and then this dot container equals container, and task equals new file task. That is done. So let's initialize this when this run method is being called. So far we are good. We have done this. Now what exactly run method will do? This will on this task object, it will call the core logic for that. So what would be my core logic? Let's first concentrate on my core logic, and then we will do that. So here whatever the file target is there, so what it has to do, it has to read from that target. So in order to read that, I will first need to create file object, file, which is my target object, and since this is being updated, so the thing is, last time where I read that particular file, I need to skip all those lines and then start. If any new update is there, then start with the new update thing. So for that I will use two objects. One will be thread safe, atomic long, which will be counter, and longer offset. So these two objects I'll be requiring. For that we'll see how exactly we will require. So now first thing is, whichever target is there, I need to read that from that target. So let's say constructor using fields, so I just want target, not other things. So this is done, and target is done, set. After that, now comes to my core logic, and the thing is, I can have multiple check, like this target should not be null or something, so nullifying things, we can do that. We can leave that also. For this is just for demo purpose, so I'll just leave that anyhow. This whatever the code which I am implementing, these code you can find in this my GitHub repository, the public repository. So there are two different projects created, one with the files and another one with this streams, with files with streams. So there you can find entire thing in proper structure and all. So let's not discuss and not focus structure here. Let's focus on this simple discussion. So I need to create this counter object as well. So I can provide the initial value also. So with some initial value, if I want to initiate, and if I don't provide, it will be by default 0. So either way we can do that. So both are fine. So we can just without argument as well, and with argument as well, and argument is 0 also. So the both are fine. No issue, not an issue with any of the implementation. Now let's jump to the core logic, and my core logic will be just there should not be any return type. It has to just read the content, and fetch into this queue. That's it. So I will do just read updated content, and I need to get the counter, which is my queue. So I can have this target as well, but since uh, now there could be a doubt, like why I have uh, why I have used queue as an argument and file as a uh, instance object, or rather say field that inside the class. So the thing is, this file object, once this stream is attached with that, this read updated read content may be called multiple times. So see if some other thread wants to access the same thing, so they can provide their own container, and I may need to push into that container. The file would be the same or anything. So it is just a matter of the implementation or business logic, what exactly we are going to get. So again, since this discussion is based on the trivial example, the trivial style of coding, so let's stick to that trivial style only. So I will use buffered reader for that, and this is a reader equals none, and I will require one lock object. So you should not use the synchronized keyword, because we have that is mid-level implementation, and so this concurrent package is the high-level implementation of these logs and monitors, etc. So better go with the high-level implementation. So I'll use this log equals let's create the object new print log. So let's create the object. That is done. Now again, null check could be done, that if the container or the queue object, whatever I'm being provided, that is not null. So let's not do that, and then reader equals new buffered reader, and this will be new file reader. The file will be target my instance variable, and throws clause. So either throw here or handle in the run block, or handle here only. So let's handle here. So reader initialized, done. Reader is initialized. Now I need to have string line or row. So let's call it row equals null. This is done. Okay, now whatever this as I was mentioning, that whatever this the number of lines which the file has, let's discuss a scenario that my reader object has already read 3-4 lines. So now the 6th line is being updated. So the thing is, my reading should be from the 6th line. It should not be the first line. So, I need to skip all these things, because whatever I'm going to read, I'm going to fetch into that. So what I will do, I will reader dot skip, and this is a long thing, so that is why I have used So here I will get the long value from the counter. Atomic long I have used. So this here I will get the long value. So this is again done. Checked exception standard. Now what I have to do? Now I have to do again the same trivial logic for running. So which would be while loop, while true, let's make it true only, and because I want this to be running infinite, because what will happen, why I have used true, because the thing is when I will call the run method of the thread, this reader job class, this run method, this will execute once and done. So I should not be stopping that, because this is the continuous updating file. The file is continuously updated. So I need to have this running and all the time. So that is why it is true. And I need to get the lock also for that. So there could be multiple threads trying to get that. So I will do try lock for that. So this is our while loop. Now I want to see that happening, so let's make it sleep for 2 seconds. Again this interrupted exception. So this is also done. A thread came and slept. Just this is a lazy thread and it wants to sleep first, just like me. So it will sleep first and then start doing the thing. So let's take long time equals dot current time. I get this. Whatever the time start time is there. Now I will do as row dot read. Sorry, row equals read reader dot read line. Now I have read the line. What will I do now? If what exactly? Now I have to provide this logic for that. If row is not equals null. Say let's say the scenario is what happens. I'm trying to read. My reader is trying to read the row, and it is null. That is end of file. It has reached. Though I mean, practically it will hardly happens. So still we are considering it has reached a situation where this server is blocked or it is stopped or whatever. So it is not going to read. So that is we are not getting, that is end of file. So and this whatever the file is there, last modified time, so last modified time I need to get. Okay, yeah, so that this last modified time, whichever I am going to get, it should be less than or equal to my target time or whatever my current time I've started reading this file. So now I set this offset equals counter dot increment and get whatever the offset is there, and then out sysout. Let's whatever the data is read, data read, and what the data read, it is row and read by if I want I can provide this thread information also. If you don't provide, just leave it by Mr. So and so. So thread dot current thread dot get name, that's it. And now I want to put inside the container. So this thing is I have dot offer and row is inside. Now here why I have used this not equals null, because I want to put inside the container as well. So if it is null, then I will be inserting null values also, so that I don't want. So this thing it is done. Now what else if this condition is not satisfied? So do we have any else alternatives for that? So what I will do, I will dot reset. I will reset that, and some exception occurs, let's say, and some exception occurs, then in resetting, then at runtime some exception occurs. I don't know what if it occurs, then just skip that. That's it. And yeah, this is done. And now let's come to this job part. Here we have set all these things: container initialized, target set, and file task I need to initialize. So let's say task equals new task, and target I need to provide what exactly the target is, and then I need to call this task dot read updated content, and container I need to provide. This one I have provided. This is done. This is okay. Now let's come to this part. So file created, resource created, and let's do one thing. And enable, oh sorry, yeah, this is target and container, and okay, resource I have used. So resource, that is done, and don't start. So let's run this code. now we can see that how it is running. Thread information also we are getting, so we can have multiple threads as well. Now it has stopped. Okay, it's continuously running. Now I guess it stopped. Yeah, in for this 14th line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Okay, let's introduce something else. Something else we have introduced. That is done. Let's save it and see. So it is continuously running, and whatever the new updates are coming, so it is being updated. So this is how we are going to implement in this trivial way of implementation of our use case. So now the same thing, I will try to do this in the same fashion, but I will use streams API. So what I will do, I will use the stream API and then I will read that. So again, we will follow the same hierarchy. I will be requiring two objects, two classes actually. So one is let's call as thread file reader, and again it will be the child of runnable. So this is done, and okay, let's do it here. And I will be requiring one more class for the same. This will be my job. So let's control class and file reader task. It is already existing, so file reader tasks with stream. So this is my task. Here I will do the implementation part. So let's do this run part quickly. So again, for this run also I will require the same thing. So target, and then change, and file reader task with stream, which is task. So so far done. Now let's initialize. So I will just require this much. So this is done, and container is initialized. Now I have to initialize this inside this run method. I need to call this. Now this task is again inside the task. I will require similar fashion. I will require this file object, and then I will need to pass the container in order to read from file. So let's now directly jump to this implementation logic. So with stream. So what I will have, the beauty is I will not require to I will not require to keep all these logic and all these overheads of reading the file and how this updated file content is being read, which I used there. As you can see, this inside this task, the logic is like quite messy. I have to take care of all these things and all these stuff. I need to do that, and then I cannot modify the things. Here I I can simply read, and which earlier also in this particular video we have seen that we can easily read the file, and there are no overheads in reading the file. We can so easily read, and the beauty is while reading I can do the manipulations as well, I can do the changes as well. So in this particular example we saw that we can do this manipulation, these sort of manipulations here. So that is why we should be using all these good features on that. So only thing is I need to have this offset in order to skip those particular number of lines which am going to read. So the thing is I will use offset for reading this. So that's it, and that's done. And I will require to create this and I don't want offset, I just want this. So this is done. Target created, and here also we can check, null check could be done, like this, whatever the target is provided, that should not be null. So let's write this method, public method. It is again not going to return anything. So read updated content and paste into this container, which is our queue. So queue of type string, which is container. So far good. Now I will require to have path. So multiple times I may be using the path thing, so I can have that path as well. So if the container is not null, it is provided. So let's not do the stuff. Let's get the buffer reader directly. You might wonder why the hell I'm using buffer reader again, which in this earlier example we saw this buffer reader is we have to do the manipulations. So the beauty is the buffer reader is also having the stream, so we need not worry about that. So let's see that reader equals, now I have C files dot new buffer reader path, from which path I want to associate this reader. So this target dot path, that's it, done. Okay, let's handle this. So far good, we have got the reader to read. Now we'll see what beauty I'm going to get. Now here also the thing is, again it will stop, it will run one time and stop, which I don't want. So infinite while true, because the scenario is it is continuously updated. updating. So one two, then before reading reader dot skip and offset. That's it. And again, after reading this, I need to set the offset as well. So my offset will be target dot length, whatever the length of the file is. So that will be my offset. And what next? Well, I will do one thing. I will do one thing. I will yeah, it is done, and now I need to get the stream. So stream of objects, stream of reader. So let's get here only. So stream of string objects. So let's call this as stream, and equals null because it is local variable. Otherwise I have compilation issues. So stream equals now here reader dot lines. So this is giving me the stream. So I'm getting the stream of that, and now I want to do the filter on these streams. So as I told that we can read the continuously updating file, and I can do the manipulations as well. So if I am not doing any sort of manipulations, so there is no point in using streams. So I will do the filter. Okay, sorry. Dot filter, and this filter I need to based on again similar scenario that e dot contains what it contains. It contains info based on this only. If it is containing, then what I need to do, I need to collect. Okay, dot collect and collectors dot to list. Our job is done, collected. Okay, this is collected. Collectors dot to list. That is fine. So okay. We have used here stream also, so let's not initialize it as a stream. What I can initialize is collection of string, which will be say call. I will be calling call. Okay. So actually this stream is not required. So what exactly I am doing here is here I am storing into the collection because this is to list and I have queue. So what the thing is, I need to get that thing so into the collection, so that from that collection I can recreate that thing. So I have included into that. Now my thing is container dot add on, and collection I have passed. Whatever I have read, I have filtered, I have got that thing. I need to pass it over here. So I can, yeah, it should be like this only. And then after reading this, we are not going to view anything. So let's view it. Otherwise, what we did, we won't be able to analyze. So here after this, what I will do is let's read the collection only and call dot stream dot for each. We have done so many times. System dot out and println is done. So far our implementation is done. You can see the difference. We have do some manipulations as well, and this task, you see, we have not done any manipulations. If I'm going to do the manipulation, then again I have to iterate over this list or whatever the object is there and do the manipulations and then reinsert that. So see the beauty and the how this number of lines have been reduced. You can directly see the much difference. Earlier we were not able to recognize much because our this reading were quite simple, just to read the file and do some little changes and all these things. So we were not able to visualize what exactly the benefits we are going to get. So here we can visualize that. So what benefit we are going to get. So this is how it is, and then let's now move directly to this implementation on this thread, and where exactly we have task equals new task, which will be target, and now this reader dot task dot read container. That's it done. That's done. It is going to get from there. Now let's come to this app Java. We can directly use this also, or we can have some other thing also. So here this thread was done. So let's call this thread, which is new thread and which will be new thread file reader, and target container is our resource. So source is done. Okay, start. So let's run this. We actually didn't call that sleep method, so that is why it is showing in one shot. We can have this here as well. So let's sleep. Let's make it sleep for and handle the interrupted exception. That is fine. So let's let it sleep for some time and then see what exactly happens. Okay, the thing is, this is not in our control. This is streams it is running. So now since we have filtered out only for infos, if we don't filter it out, it will read me all the lines. So right now it is reading only infos. So let's check on info as well. So info and my info and debug deb and again info your info. Okay, so this is done. So let's see. We have added properly. Yes, we have added properly. Why it is not reading? Let's check it out. Is there any logical error we have done? So let's cut this out, stop this and directly jump here. So anyhow, this sleep is not gonna work, so let's better remove it. So sleep is not gonna work. Let's review our this meter we have skipped and okay, let's do one thing. We have got this and let's replace this with stream, save it, and now let's run it. So far good. So it seems there is some logical error we have done. Set we have set inside the while loop only. Let's remove this filter. So there is yeah, so somehow our code was the same code was not working, so I have not done any changes into that, and let's see that, and see this latest thing, my info, your info, it is coming. So might be we may have missed to save the file or something. So this is how this we saw this runtime something, some error came. So let's do one thing, check one more time in order to satisfy ourselves. So I'll do one thing, error err, and then I will do info blah blah. So this is done. Now the thing is, this should be reflected into this blah blah. It is coming. So somehow it was missing. Maybe some sort of system issue or something. I'm not sure about this, but this we can see that whatever the changes we are making, info not giving or something, info not giving, it is coming. So this is how we can see that the streams, how easily we can achieve all these things. So this stream is not actually required. We are doing the same thing. We can do this without stream as well. So here it is. It is all about files, the trivial accessing method, and latest stream API, and the 1.7 files API, and we saw how easily we can do this stuff, and more on all these concepts. I'll be sharing videos. If you like, you can comment, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can comment what else you want to see. So let's meet some other time, and as I told, I have all these code done at my GitHub, github.com/hisht2057, and there is public repo. You can find this. Just bear with this camel case character sequence and all. So actually it should be something like this. So public repo, this is my GitHub. Here you can find all the codes, whatever it is. Thanks for watching. Bye. See you next time.